Good afternoon, all. We'll call the August 19, 2024 meeting of Greenwood Board of Public Works and Safety to order at 5:30 p.m. Roll call, please, Amanda.
Mr. Rutherford.
Here.
Mr. Hoover.
Here.
Mr. Baldwin.
Here.
Thank you.
Minutes of our last session of August 5, 2024 have been distributed to members of the board. Any corrections, additions, or deletions for staff? Hearing none, is there a motion for approval as presented?
So moved. Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. First on our agenda is Juan Sullivan and Tammy Sullivan, 1148 Plymouth Rock Way, Coopers, for a request of a waiver. Are the Sullivans with us in the room or online?
Doesn't look like they've been able to.
We had this discussion last meeting. Well,
It's the people that work a shift, and so
Yes.
it's difficult for them to make the.
oh, this is
5:30
the
meeting.
one that went to FedEx.
They work and neither one of them,
Oh.
they have trouble getting here because of the time of the meeting.
See, John, is this someone from your office able to address this? This is Plymouth Rock Way.
Sure, for the code record, John Love, code supervisor. I would just rely on the testimony I gave on the 5th to it, that there's a violation of length. There's no sufficient side yard option to put it behind the front building line. It's some sidewalk obstruction, and it appears a good repair and road living.
Questions? for Mike? John, or comments?
This one's 20 feet.
28.
It's 28, but the driveway is approximately 50 feet. If you measure it off median.
And the regulation states no larger than
18.
18.
Picture.
Complaints about
Do you know how this came before us, John? Was it
We have been, the code has been to that address respectively on the 6th of July, the 1st of July, and the 18th of July of this year. All same reported thing about the violation on the trail.
Yeah. Johnny, you want to remind us what we have to find in order to find a waiver?
Sure, in determining to grant a waiver according to municipal code section 8-30L2, the Board of Public Works and Safety may consider the following factors. 1, unique physical characteristics of the property. 2, the lot size and spacing between homes in the neighborhood. 3, the impact upon surrounding property values. 4, the duration of the arrangement. 5, whether the arrangement existed prior to the passage of the ordinance. 6, public safety and visibility concerns. 7, the condition, appearance of the boat, trailer, RV, or commercial vehicle. And 8, the surface upon which the parking is occurring. These factors should be cumulatively considered and weighed and should not be viewed as an exhaustive list.
Looks like the trailer is in good repair, what John said. Picture 18. It's not pitching over the sidewalk. Not sure how long it's been there.
or how long we'll keep it to just through the summer and then get rid of it.
It says they often use the camper to visit their children. They're in the Navy. They enjoy some camping.
Violates the code. What is the code? You got neighbors complaining.
Set a precedent.
I would move to decline the waiver.
I'll second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, John. And Amanda, will you be in charge of relaying that message?
I'll pass it on.
Thank you. Adam, good evening. Adam's gonna give us a report about quarterly utility update.
Okay. Do I advance it here or do you?
No, just tell me. It's online.
Okay, great. Hey, good evening, everyone. It's good to see you. We're here to do our mid-year or quarterly review for the Greenwood Sanitation Utility. I know you have a big agenda, so there's just a few slides I really want to key in on. Most importantly, next slide, please. So again, just for anyone new to this or in the audience, this is a utility follows a continuous update process. The rate study that current customers are following went into effect in the calendar years 2021 through 2025. So we are still actively in that rate ordinance. And as part of that, we are providing periodic updates with respect to that, as well as just the municipal code requirement for the annual rate sufficiency. Next slide, please. So this is one of the main takeaways and summary of the first six fiscal months. In this case, the rate study that was prepared in 2020 anticipated certain revenues and expenses in the year 2024. This is the quarter-over-quarter progression and achievement or attainment of that original forecast based at the end of June 2024. So starting, the kind of lightly colored lines are the green dash dotted line, red dash or dotted area. Those are the revenues and expenses per the original plan done about 4 years ago. The solid green line is the revenue collected and billed through June 30th, so the first 2 quarters of the year. The red are the actual expenses. So in this case, and in most simplistic, the revenues are ahead of plan through the first 2 quarters, expenses are just under plan. And you can see how the next 2 quarters of this year, where we expect to end, and kind of trend those out in your mind, both we can project, and then I went ahead and put the 2025 plan items in there as well. That's where we think revenues, expenses, at least for the plan, will go for next year. So takeaway here is revenues are ahead, expenses are a little below. Next slide, please. Continuing on, then looking at cash and investments, there's a little over about $42 million in cash and investments currently at the end of June, with the majority of that in cash. The utility does have a variety of other funds, both assigned and restricted. Those are for dedicated engineering, impact fees, bond and interest funds, etc. Next slide, please. As far as the utilities trends, it's pretty even. There's a couple months that have multiple bill routes in them, so you'll see a few different sort of timing differences there. But the pie chart, more than almost 70% of the total customer collections are still in residential type customers, with commercial being the next. So a little over 90% of the total revenue is coming from residential and commercial, with industrial and public agencies making up the rest. Next slide, please. As far as revenue year over year, the first 2 quarters, you can see that progression. Some of this growth is actual active account growth, net new accounts, as well as the rates that were phased in over the years, each going into effect service dates January 1st. So in this case, revenue in a real term is up 4.6%. The rates this year were up 5%. Next slide, please. Comparing the budget to actual, this is on the expense side now. Expenses are, as we saw earlier, trending under budget. Through the first 6 months, you were about 39% spent of the budget, 50% through the year, and then on a year-over-year basis, it was down about 11.5% on spending. The last slide we have in there is just a picture of the most recent capital improvement plan coming out of that workshop in May. We'll be working with the new superintendent and director and the November meetings to make sure those get updated. I believe that's all I have. Yep, I'm happy to take any other questions. Otherwise, I just wanted to hopefully that was a concise update for you.
Questions for Adam? No,
All
Thank
I
you,
have.
Adam.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Very good.
Thanks, chief. Good evening.
Good evening, board. Jimmy Washell, Fire Chief. Up here tonight, for transfer of property amendment to the personal property transfer of an ambulance. Francis Alliance. As everybody probably recalls, ambulance that we're not using. Any maintenance fees, repairs, and insurance on. Francis came to us, essentially wanted to do a contract with us, or a memorandum of understanding. Essentially, they would provide tuition reimbursement for the transfer of that ambulance to their education department.
Questions for chief? Michelle?
No, you previously approved it, and then they came back with, they wanted some minor changes, and so, that was provided to you in a red line format, so you have an agreement you've approved. I suppose the motion would be to amend, to approve amendments to the agreement as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Thank you, board.
Thank you, chief. Next, Randy Withers, sanitation field office. Hello.
Good evening, Randy Weathers, sanitation superintendent. I'm here this evening to get approval to enter into a professional services agreement with HWC for the abandonment and of the nail sewer. It's a old CSO sanitary sewer that's clay pipe, damaged in several places, non-repairable, so we want to abandon it in place and take the homes that are on it off to existing sanitary sewer lines that are nearby. $39,500 professional services agreement with HWC for that.
That'll take care of all the engineering necessary to.
That'll take care of all the engineering surveying.
Where is that located?
That is Meridian. And it's the old Arvin's building, Meridian, up in that area. And it goes southwest for about 2 blocks from there. There's only about 4 to 5 homes that are on it. We want to remove those homes because it's a danger to the property, it's a danger to those houses as well. If it ever were to collapse, it's in pretty bad shape. So we want to abandon it and just place those laterals on existing mains that are already there that are in better shape. Not waste time with this main, get it off our system.
Are they already on the other?
No, they're on the current bad line. We need to get them off. That's part of the survey, is to find out who exactly is on just the 4 or 5, we think, or if there's anything we don't know about.
Randy, how long do you anticipate that will take?
That project, Mark, do you have any idea about how long that the engineering for that probably is? From meeting them, I think.
Be collecting survey,
Yeah, survey.
say within 6 months.
Excuse me.
Will there be additional easements that we'll need to get? Or
there
you don't
should-
know that till we do?
We
the
don't know that
survey?
till we do the survey, but I wouldn't think so because they should all come straight out to the mains that are in front of the properties.
Is there a motion to approve the professional services contract as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Henry. Mr. Petty. What have you got for us?
Hi, here tonight to request the approval to purchase a 2025 factory unit mounted on a 2025 Kenworth chassis at a price of $561,342.46 using the Sourcewell contract. This is for the sanitation facility.
Questions for Todd?
It's an expensive deal, isn't it? It is.
Certain special requirements that we need to go through on that. Mr. Coleman, you have any thoughts on this?
Oh, I have some thoughts. I move to determine that the purchase of the
2110I-SE2 truck mounted single engine combustion sewer cleaner unit mounted on a Kenworth chassis that is manufactured by Vector from Jack Doheny Companies through the Sourcewell Purchasing Cooperative in the amount of $461,342.46, is a single source and governmental discount special purchase to authorize the special purchase to execute the written determination for the special purchase as prepared by the legal department and to direct the special purchase determination be placed and maintained in a separate special purchase contract file.
I'll second that. Any further
Okay.
discussion?
I have one question. Could I ask that you amend that to $561,340.46? As we're not committed at this point to whether or not 100% we're going to do the trade-in or not.
Gotcha. So it's 500, read that number again.
561,340.
Just an additional 100,000.
Yes, that's right, $100,000.
Okay, let me reread that. No, I'm kidding.
You might authorize, who do you authorize to sign to effectuate the purpose? You might as well put
It's-
that in.
Automatic to the mayor. Yeah. So yes, I will amend that motion to reflect the $561,342.46.
I'll second that. Further discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Todd. Next, Megan. Restore Old Town Greenwood Final Fridays.
Actually, Ashley Farrell substituting for Megan tonight.
Okay.
So we are here to request the waiver again for August 30th for the final Friday, so the noise waiver. It's 5 to 8, and then I think we're going to extend the parking lot one, which is behind Gordon Brush, to play until 9, because that's where the food trucks are located and all that. So,
Okay, the memo we have says 6 to 9.
okay.
I mean, is that,
She had 6 to 9 in the parking lot back there. We have 3 locations. Yes, so that one, and in front of Bayberry Spa is 5 to 8. And then the Main Street location is 5:30 to 8:30. So there's 3 different bands in 3 different areas.
questions?
It was well attended.
Yeah.
I attended the last one.
Awesome, great, yeah. We were very happy. I think business owners were really happy, so.
I'd move for approval.
Second.
The times as she just
Yes.
told us for all 3 different locations. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Thank you. Next, we have the Esperellas for a wedding reception online.
Yes,
Good evening, how are you?
good. How are you? I'm here to request noise ordinance waiver. Is for a wedding on Friday, September 6th. It will be indoors, but the venue just wanted me to get a waiver just kind of in case.
And the information we got is that you're gonna be having amplified music, what times?
So we'll have a DJ. It will be from 5, which dinner starts at 5 till 1 a.m.
1 a.m. is probably what causes a little bit of consternation,
Mhm.
but we recognize it's inside, so if we were inclined to grant this that late until 1 o'clock, do you think you could ask from the midnight on, could you ask an extra hour to ask maybe to soften the music a little bit?
I sure can.
So this is the Bay Horse.
That way
Yes.
There's not like real close to the
apartments.
oh, they have.
Yeah.
Well, I'll move that we grant the request conditioned upon the petitioner talking to her DJs and seeing if things can be a little bit quieter after midnight.
Okay.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Good time.
Thank you.
Trey Hunt. You know-
I'm present online.
Okay, good to hear from you. Tell us what you want. We've got a memo from Paul Peony in front of us for the Shul Spec Building, Greenpoint Logistics Center.
Yep, so we are looking for the acceptance of improvements, acknowledge of completion, and then the acceptance of maintenance guarantees and the release of our performance guarantees.
Mark, everything okay from your perspective?
Yes, sir.
Move for approval. Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Randall Richter for Precedent South Business Center.
Present online, sir.
Hey, you got something for us at Precedent South. What are we
Well,
talking?
first I'll say good evening to ladies and gentlemen of the jury. I am here for a replat of lots 3D and 3E of Precedent South Business Center, Section 1. Essentially removing a lot line, the north lot line, I believe it's of 3E north 45 feet to encompass all of the improvements that were done on 3E so that the lot to the north 3D can be sold.
Mark, again, it doesn't appear to be any.
No comments from any?
And you've got,
I do.
I move for approval as presented. Second.
further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay. Thanks, Randall.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
You too. Next, we're gonna talk about Scottsdale Estates. Adam Mears, are you with us?
I am here online.
There we go, okay. Tell us
Can you hear
what
me?
we can hear.
Hello?
Hello, Adam.
Can you hear me?
us? Yeah,
I can hear you. If you can hear me, thank you.
we can now, thank you. Tell us what we're doing. Adam, can you hear me? Mark? can you-
Confirming you.
There
Sorry.
we go.
All right. Can you guys hear me? Thank
Yeah,
you.
we can now, thank you.
All right. Sorry about that. My name's Adam Mears. I'm here with Gradison Land Development. Requesting
Okay, it's requested.
and our plan for Section 3 at Scottsdale Estates.
Yeah, so they're looking to obtain their plat for Section 3 of Scottsdale. It's the neighborhood located in the northwest corner, well, northwest of the Whiteland Road Honey Creek intersection.
And your office is recommending,
Yeah, approval of it. We have received a copy of the final plat. The SAF has been, the 1/3 SAF has been made, and we are in receipt of performance guarantee.
I'll move for approval. Second.
further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Adam, we took care
Thank you very
of
much.
it.
Have a good
You can
night.
Hear us.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, have a good evening. Next is anyone from the audience that would wish to address us, either in person or online. Anyone here in the room want to speak to us? Can't say that I blame you, but anybody online? If not, we'll move on to Corporation Council status of task.
Excellent. First thing I have is the final approval of the waiver for the storage of, I think it was a camper. There will be Summit Lasker property from the previous meeting.
Okay, gentlemen, we have this in front of us from what we did last time, so this is just a, Shauna has prepared the waiver document, so. Is there a motion to approve this waiver document?
So moved.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Second item, we have a contract for maintenance services. It's another one of those for the trail and sidewalk maintenance projects. It is with Olive Parking Marking for a portion of the Honey Creek Trail and Honey Creek Road and Sherwood Road in an amount not to exceed $6,380.
Questions for Sean? Is there a motion to approve this?
So moved.
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Motion passes.
Last item is the ratification of the signing of an outdoor lighting agreement with Johnson County RMC. This is for Scottsdale Estate Section 3 that was signed by the mayor.
Move for approval.
Second, further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes.
That's all legal has for you.
Thank you, Sean. Mark, your turn.
First item I have is our easement encroachment request docket. We just have one item on the docket tonight. It's for a fence in the Kensington Park subdivision at 120 Kensington Park Road. They're looking to replace an existing chain link fence, I believe, with a wooden fence. The wood encroach into a drainage utility easement that runs along the rear yard of the west property line. The unique thing about this is that easement does contain a sanitary sewer main.
Is there anyone here in the audience or online who wishes to address us on this matter? We have a memo from Jeff Weaver requesting some conditions, recommending approval with certain conditions. What's the pleasure of the board? Questions for Mark?
I can't get it to come up on the things here.
Yeah, we had some provisions on there, yeah, and then in addition to the usual ones that the fence be kept a minimum of 5 feet away from the center line of the existing sanitary sewer main, and if allowed to cross the sanitary sewer main, then any post shall be a minimum of 4 feet from the sanitary sewer main.
I'll move for approval of those conditions.
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Hello, I just got my phone unmuted. I'm with Kensington Park. Can
Yes,
you hear me?
yes, we can.
Okay, so we have been looking at the other fences down through there, and where the center easement of the property is, it's 14 foot from where other people have their fences. So the easement is a 14-foot easement from fence to fence. About 5 houses to the south of us, they are right in the center of the easement on the telephone pole area. And that's what we were requesting. We were originally attached to the homeowner behind us all the way to the west of us. We were wanting to go all the way to the west, but I know that's probably not possible. But we would like to go to the center of that if it is possible, because there's a house that is 5 or 6 houses to the south of us that are right in the center of the easement.
Sir, what's your name?
Denny Cross.
My name is Denny Cross. The homeowner, I'm sitting here with her. Her name is Susie Elizabeth Berry.
Mark, did you understand the request, or is that?
Yeah, I think it's the request that was outlined in the docket. They'd like to,
And so it's been granted.
yes, with the conditions listed.
Denny and Elizabeth, we, in your absence before you got online, we approved the request subject to certain conditions set forth in our Community Development Engineering Division Office memo. Have you seen that memo? It's from Jeff Weaver.
No, I have not.
Okay. Well, let me read, there's 4 conditions. What the first condition is, the fence be constructed to allow for adequate drainage, and if it's determined by the engineering division or by the stormwater department that a drainage issue has been created, the homeowner will be responsible to correct the drainage issue. Second recommended condition, which we've adopted, is should work within any easement be necessary by any of the utilities or the city, the owner shall be responsible for removal and replacement of the fence at their sole expense, and the owner further holds harmless those utilities in the city for any damage to said fence. The next recommended condition is that the fence be kept a minimum of 5 feet away from the center line of the existing sanitary sewer main. If allowed to cross the sanitary sewer main, then any post shall be a minimum of 4 feet from the sanitary sewer main. If it is determined by the sanitation utility that damage has been caused to the sewer main by the installation of the fence, the property owner shall be responsible for all repairs to said sanitary sewer main. And the final recommended condition is that Indiana 811 is notified prior to constructing the fence so that all buried utilities can be marked.
And we have done that, yes.
Okay. Do you have any problems with any of the other conditions?
No, sir.
Okay. Well, then we've already voted on it, and it's a good to go, subject to those 4 conditions. We did vote on it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Next, we're going to talk about the ADA transition plan.
Yes, this is likely something you've seen in the past. As a recipient of federal funds, the city of Greenwood is required to ensure that all of our facilities and property meet ADA standards, and where they don't, we have to have a plan to bring them into compliance. So that's what this plan is. It's your chance to review it, to comment on it. It's been publicly advertised, and it's also being taken to other boards that own and control property and facilities.
Is this anything we need to approve, deny, or is this just for our information?
It will be approved by city council through an ordinance.
And you will also prepare, probably at your meeting in September, we have to get through the 30-day comment period, because if we get comments, it could be amended, and then it will be brought back to be adopted by everyone who has jurisdiction over property.
Well, we're waiting until the council approves that now.
Well,
period.
until the 30-day comment period is over.
And the next on our agenda is Greenwood Christian Church.
Yep, the final item is a operations and maintenance manual for water quality for Greenwood Christian Church.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. Mr. Wright, anything from your office?
Nothing tonight.
Thank you. Mr. Rutherford.
I'll move for approval of the claims as presented.
Second.
That.
Go ahead.
Second that. Any further discussion? Of course not. Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay. If nothing else to come before the board, we'll stand adjourned at 6:04 PM.